Hello everyone, and warm welcome to a fresh edition of Your Image. My name is Dare Folari. Today we are x-raying the 2026 World Youth Day, which was celebrated just last Wednesday. And to unpack the topic, I have a youth-friendly elder, your regular host, Mr. Akin Okudero. Fellow, you're welcome to the program.
It's a pleasure being here. It's a pleasure being here.
Good to see you. Welcome home.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, I have Mr. Oludare, Emmanuel, popularly called E-Glory. How are you? He's a youth exponent. Okay. First off, let's start with you, sir. Who qualifies to be called a youth? Who is a youth? Because we usually see that this word is an elastic program. We see some old people calling themselves youths.
Well, maybe when they look at the mind,
okay,
and they look at the outward appearance, their thinking, their approach to life, and the ability to align with people of different groups, particularly the youths, that you may say it's a youth-like person.
Okay,
but in reality,
you look youth-like.
in reality, a youth should not extend beyond the age of 40, 45.
40, 45. Okay, E-Glory, do you agree with him?
I think so, sir. I believe he has said the right thing, because looking at the world organizations, they have actually made known to us that anyone that is a youth is someone from the age of 10, permit me to say 20 to 40.
Okay.
And even if you look at our country today, at the youth level, in the community development association, most of the people that you find there, you find them between the age of 20 to 40. And as a result of that, they're able to contribute to the society because of the experience and the exposure that they are given to them. And that's actually, we could say that because of their capacity and because of the reflections of the skills in them, they can be called youth.
Okay. One major matter is that we usually refer to youth as the leaders of tomorrow. Do you think they are ready for this tomorrow? With the way we are seeing them, are they ready to take over the leadership?
Yeah, some of them are very ready, coping with the challenges of life. Some of them have foresight, but when you look at the environment diminishes their strength. It diminishes their foresight and their ability to bring out excellent-like activities. For example, because when you look at some of them, when they go outside of this world, they perform excellently well. They're able to cope because the environment are inclusive, encouraging, and they're able to get a life that propels them, that gingers their brain, and doing everything that will excel beyond those people who are even in that country. So we have a lot of hindrances here, and that is why things are seemingly difficult.
So what are we doing to correct these hindrances, to remove these goalposts, so to speak?
Well, I think government is trying to do something now with a lot of all these social palliatives, a lot of trainings, a lot of skills acquisition programs that they are coming up with. Look at even the telephone, what telephone is doing, giving them freedom to be educated. Look at all these social benefits that government is now rolling out for the youths. It empowers them. Even the skill acquisition programs that are coming up is giving them an horizon that is making them to tap into a new world and then aligning with the global standard. So in that case, you can see that there's a new era of prosperity for the youths.
Okay, new era of prosperity. Technology is driving this. Are you ready for AI, artificial intelligence? How are you youths ready? How are you coping?
Yeah, I believe that today's youth is actually grossly involved in technology, because if you look at our environment today, virtually most of the youths that I've walked with, that I've seen on the road, there's no one you will see that is not with using his or her phone. Social media, connectivity, trying to create content, especially on TikTok, And you know we have the largest, Nigeria happens to be the second largest youth-driven population.
Amazing.
As a result of that, in fact, I can tell you that among the world classification today, Nigeria happens to be the second largest after Bangladesh. So as a result of that, today's youth, they are ready. They are driven with technology because of the impact of technology, especially artificial intelligence. Just some days ago, I was working with some youths. We are training them on AI, how they can use AI to generate images, how they can use it to create business for themselves. Think on anything, creativity with your AI, and then you are there in the world. You can be seen anywhere. Anybody can just say, oh, I like your work. I want to be part of it. And that is what is driven today's youth, especially in the Nigeria context.
Okay, we see we are in life to solve problems. Problem-solving skills. How do you think that our youth can better equip themselves to be great problem solvers?
Well, they are lucky that science and technology are impacting very well nowadays. You could now see youth with skills now displaying a spectacular creative activities, designs, even coming up with some technological skills that is unbelievable. So nowadays, they are able to now deploy that talent, the intent and the capacity that this world is now evolving. They are now able to tap into it and generate something that is giving a kind of new life,
right,
a new drive to what people never expected. So the opportunity now is that we are in a generation where the unbelievable is happening.
Amazing. We're in a generation where the unbelievable is happening. So how do you think people can, you can translate this energy, this boisterous energy that the youth have into governance? Do you think you are being given a chance, enough chance in governance?
Thank you, sir. As far as I'm concerned, I think Nigeria, in terms of the access to the governance, is still very low, in my perspective, though. Because, even though we have the capacity, even though we have the potentials, most of our youths, some of them are used for political thuggeries and all of that. And as a result, with the level and with the age and the era that we are now, that is driven with AI technology, the high level capacity of technology, I think part of what will make our youth to be more engaging, to dominate the world, especially in the aspect of governance, is that they should be given that access in the decision-making world, where they can make policy, contribute to their own quota, their own initiative that will even, surpass what our elders could do. And I think we need our government, even though they are trying, but there's need for more youth in the decision-making world.
Okay, Mr. Okudero, you will recall that in the First Republic, our leaders then were young. The person who moved the first motion for independence was under 30. Why is it that we are not recreating that kind of thing, youthful leaders?
Well, it has to do with the mindset of the politicians, so to say. Because if you look at it, if at that age they were at the top, nothing stops them from being creative and helping the youth. Inculcating them into the activities, governance, entrepreneurship, and so many other areas of life. But you see, and that is why where politics operates without good governance is going to bridge this kind of gap. You could see that a structured system, if it's made to sustain, if it is made to perform in the real sense, it then means that everybody will work towards attaining a higher goal. And that goal will be integrative. It will be encouraging the youth, it will be encouraging professionals, it will be encouraging all classes of people in a way that then the goal that are attainable will be achieved. So the problem now is that even from the colonial days, you will see that in those days, everyone has an inclusive activity to perform. But for the selfish attitude of our leaders, who were able to be at the top and then they retain themselves, and unfortunately, they begin to bring their children, they begin to bring those people who are close, those people that they can just use anyhow, into the cycle of governance, and that is the bane.
Okay. Let's look at another attitude that a school of thought believes, that this entitlement mentality. They say that youths have an entitlement mentality, and this is a hindrance. They think they know it all. So what's your advice to youths who may be watching us now?
Well, the youths are with energy. They are with the thinking capabilities. They can take risk, and in life, in business, risk-taking takes the upper hand. It makes you to achieve a spontaneous something. Though there may be failures, but notwithstanding, when you fail once, you'll be able to realize the mistake you have made and then be able to readjust.
It's a learning curve.
It's a learning curve. So the problem now is that if those people who had the opportunity, as at that time, were not given the opportunity, they will not learn. So youth must be given that opportunity to create, recreate, and when there are issues, they come up with new technology, new drives, new approaches, so that the system can be perfected.
Okay. Iglory, what do you have to say to some of your colleagues who are not willing to, exert themselves? They don't like working hard. They don't like breaking into sweats. They just want easy money. You can see that easy money is the in thing now.
Yeah.
What is?
Well, for me, I think what I'm just going to advise is that there is no all that glitters.
It's not gold.
It's not gold, so to say. My advice to youths like that is that they should think twice, because no matter what you get today, if there is no value in it, it is a waste. And as a result of that, there is need. In fact, today's youth, aside the fact that many of them have a lot of drives, I think the issue of money, pursuing money at the cost of everything, just want to show up and all that, should be, especially in schools, in churches and all of that, there is need for it to be tamed. And we have a lot of ways we can do that, so that they are able to tail their energy toward value-driven activities that will later propel them in life.
Okay, so for sustainable wealth, there is need for delayed gratification. Help to speak to youth about having delayed gratification.
What speaks for success is the ability to be able to grow over time, to learn the system, and to also be involved in some activities. And that is why we talk of mentorship. They must submit themselves for mentorship. They must submit themselves for selfless services. They must submit themselves for training, rigorous training that will groom them for later life opportunities. One thing people don't understand, particularly the youth, is that if you are not ready to serve, you do not gain experience and you don't get impacted. Of course, what we are gaining from is our ability to have been involved in some of the things when we're giving selfless service, and that is paying off now, because it is what you are involved in that people will get to know you about, and then you gather experience, and with experience, you begin to be relevant in life. And when people are able to identify that, oh, such a personality is good in this particular area, then the future opportunities comes.
Yeah, you become the go-to.
Yeah, and they begin to search for you.
Yeah.
And that is the essence of making yourself available for service.
Okay, Iglory, let's quickly talk about volunteering.
Yeah.
That's something youths don't like hearing. Yeah, that we just volunteer without being paid. So what's your take on that?
Okay, let me start with this experience here. For many years ago, I was into voluntary service. Like 5 years, I was doing a lot of voluntary service. I think one of the reasons is because where they are being manipulated.
Okay.
You know, of course, there could be a reason for that, but I think God has a way of paying that in another way, and it's a mindset And as a result of that, so, you know, when there are some youth today that once they face a kind of challenge that is not in line with what they are dreaming about, they tend to withdraw and they tend to change their mind. Some of them can even go the way of becoming a talk to the society. So I think it's a mindset, but I believe that if they are able to, given the chance to serve where they can volunteer freely. And they are being honored with that, I think they
so as to acquire experience.
Because it is better. Volunteering service is very important. It's vital. It's more or less like collaborating.
Okay.
Even beyond that, I think so many other stakeholders have a role to play.
Yes.
For example, the organizations, schools should also have an inbuilt system whereby students should be made to go through some practical
internship.
Yes.
And monitored internship, not just giving them out and then allowing them to just waste the period. Besides that too, we also look forward to government also encouraging them to have some allowances, regular allowances that can even help them to make the internship more interesting. And then beyond that, we call on even organizations, businesses, to have a structured experience-like opportunities, so that field experience the youths can garner.
So allow them to in
turn to be involved in some industry-based activities,
so that they can have the requisite skills.
And that will aid them in their professional work later in life. It will also help them to grow and understand the system in a way that when they are not given the opportunity, they'll be able to fit in, rather than just be relying on theoretical work that they have learned.
A school of thought believes that leadership should be taught from nursery. You know, the public relations, we are having a university of public relations and leadership. We are the first in the world. We are establishing that in November. Do you share this view that leadership should be taught as a course so that people can imbibe the qualities of good leadership?
Issue of leadership even starts from home, because you realize that when a child is not properly trained, not properly brought up, you begin to see them not understanding life. And it starts with, oh, you are not supposed to do this. In the morning, you are supposed to greet. Those values should be inculcated. Then besides that, the work ethics. You should be able to clean your environment.
Yes. Morning chores.
You should be able to prepare food. You should be able to do certain skills. Fix certain things by yourself.
Right.
So when you are able to do that, you are inculcating leadership traits into their systems. And when they now grow with education, the education will now broaden their scope. And when you also, during that education, also make sure that they are involved in some practical activities, skill acquisition activities that help them in shaping their life to ensure that things are not given freely. It is what you work for that you earn for.
You're watching Your Image, and we are discussing the 2026 International Youth Day. We are looking at public relations insights. E-Glory. So what do you have to say to the elders? Is there something that is bothering you that you want the elders to give you a chance, you know? Talk to us.
All right. Thank you, sir. I think today my thoughts to the elders is just that our elders are trying. They are born of wisdom, so to say. So I just want to let them know that for us that are youths, they should not try to cajole us, threaten us, even when we are trying to take a step. They should try and say, okay, don't worry. You can do it better, but look on. Let me teach you how to.
So you want encouragement?
Encouragement, so to say. And that's, there is no way a youth or a young man or woman that you give such an encouragement, there's no way you will not appreciate it in life. You can see that recently, so to say, in Pella.
Okay. Okay. So, our veteran, please talk to your advice to the youths generally as they celebrate this International Youth Day.
Well, you themselves must go on a soul searching. They must reflect on their activities, what they are doing. Can they actually say that it is good? Is it environment friendly? Is it okay for the growth of their communities, of the states, and of the nation at large? Can they be proud of what they are doing? Because when a youth is involved in thuggery, when a youth is involved in a 419, armed robbery, and whatever, that is a negative in the growth system. So they must be able to sit down, do a value orientation. They must reorientate themselves in a way that they need to align with the morals of the society and the standards of the society in a way that they can be a better Nigerian. And I believe when they do that, not joining groups that are involved in drugs, cultism, and the like, because those are negative vices.
Okay, as we begin to wind down, let's look at the area of sports.
All right.
We went to the Commonwealth and we did well.
Yeah.
Youth are performing in the area of sports and everything. What do you have to say about that?
For me, I like sports anyway. Especially football and basketball and tennis. I think there is a large capacity. There are still many avenues to cover when it comes to sport, especially for Nigeria.
That we are not tapping.
And we have a lot of organizations, which I may not be able to mention this moment, that are really building an institution around that. You know, they are really empowering youths, because that's an avenue that can even give the country a big global development.
Wonderful.
If we tap it.
We have the largest number of youths with over 70% of our population. What's your advice to them so that they can earn their place?
They should take the advantage of having that large population. And then they must try as much as possible to regroup themselves for better work. They must try as much as possible to also believe that they don't have any other nation except this Nigeria. And making Nigeria progress should be the onus and the responsibility they must have. It must be a task for, just like they say,
making the Nigeria great. It's a task for all.
That's all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And on that note, we'd like to call it a day on the program today. I'd like to thank our guest, Mr. Okudero. Welcome back home again.
It's a pleasure being here, and thank you for holding forth.
Okay.
You've been doing wonderfully well.
And Mr. Oludare Iblori.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. So, and on behalf of the team, Bukola Akin, Dara Adebimpe, this is just sincerely Dare Folarin saying bye for now.